Good evening, everybody. I hope everyone is having a brilliant start to the week. So, this evening, I'm going to give everyone a slight breakdown on what we've seen with regards to the market movement. Very similar format to what we have done in the previous breakdowns ever since starting the Telegram group. So, without further ado, I'm going to move straight into it. So, let's move and start to dissect Bitcoin and the movement today. We have seen this sideways momentum. We did mention yesterday that we saw this higher high forming just here, but I think we are starting to finally see that reversal down to the downside, guys. And we can see just here this declining level of resistance, which did really turn into support, but then we broke through immediately. We have come back up to test this level of resistance just again. So that's been 3 tests just there. We can see that buy pressure is starting to run out, guys. So my guess is that we are going to see Bitcoin start moving to the downside and testing for the lower lows. I'm just going to mark this out to see what we look like in terms of the declining channel. So let's move in there. So we can see that if we do break out here, we may start to try and test this level of support just here. My guess would be, purely looking at this, that we would be testing this one just here. If we do break out, then we are going to be looking at crumble down to this level of support here, then surpassing that, moving down, as we can see with the prior historic data just here. With the movement up, I would say once we break this level, then it is showtime and we are going to be moving down, and we won't be able to stop the thing until we get to around the $6,000, $5,000 mark. Again, I am trading in the euro, so do the conversion yourself with regards to the Bitcoin conversion. If you do want me to start trading with USDR, by all means I can do. It'll probably take a few days as per sending a bit of USD over and getting the USDT. But again, it's not a very hard conversion to do, guys. Apologies, I got a buzz just there. So with regards to the movement of Bitcoin, we have seen not much action. It's been more of a sideways move. We may be starting to go into what looks like a triangle just here. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. So if we do consolidate more into here, we could either have a breakout to the upside, which I'm not banking on, as we have seen this level of resistance just here. I'm thinking we're going to come down, test this breakdown, but I could be wrong, guys. It's just purely my ideas on what we could be seeing with the market. Moving on to XRP, we are still consolidating within this channel. We are finding the support again on the ascending support just here. So I do think we are looking rather bullish for XRP as a whole. The way we look at it, we could look at it more like more of a wedge just there, which would then indicate that we are looking at a bearish signal. So we could confirm this as an ascending wedge and then get the breakout in harmony with Bitcoin just here and break to the downside also. Again, a time to accumulate and to create a better dollar cost averaging across the investment portfolio. Trading again within this, if you do see a breakout to the upside, unconfirming this wedge just here, then break your heart. Well, go break, but go and eat your heart with your long positions up to the wards to retest this ascending resistance just here, should I say. So not much there. Moving on to Ether. Ether, again, we have seen this big rejection just here, which looks, again, very, very similar. And this is me looking at what's happening with Bitcoin. As we can see with Bitcoin, we've got this tried to make a higher high just here. We've got this descending resistance just here. So descending lower low. We've seen exactly the same thing with Ether just here. We've seen here, we have probably not got as high with this test just here. But what we've got is we've got a retest of a lower low, which is after another lower low just there. So you could put it as a higher high, but really for me, I'm focusing more upon this level of resistance just here and trading within the whole grand scheme of things picture as to what is going on. So that's my thoughts really on what we're doing. Again, with Tilray, we are looking, and I think we will come up and test just up here within this wedge. I think we are going to dump down though. However, I don't want to give too much of a breakdown on this, as I have mentioned, and we haven't seen much movement in the market today with regards to till rate. BP, more of a downward trend. We've seen a big rejection just here up on this key level marked out in the top-down analysis that we put together. So we've seen this big rejection. We saw a breakout of this channel just here that we had, which were descending. We've broke out. It looks like we've got rejected just at this level according to prior historic data of resistance just here. So now officially we are trading within this channel of support again, so I would think we are destined for the lower lows. We may come back up and test this just here, but my orders are to the downside, especially with the economic fundamentals that we currently have. BT moved to the upside quite nicely over the last couple of days actually, but still trading within. If I just refine this line just here, get an idea, still trading within this ascending wedge just here. So ascending wedge, bearish signal, come out of here. If we do unconfirm this and move to the upside, we will test this just here, but I think what we're going to do is confirm this ascending wedge, throw some of the either the investors or the traders out, and then we're going to dump down, guys, of which I will be accumulating on the way down, laddering buys, creating a better average for the cost of per share that I would be buying within the BT company. So very simple stuff, guys. Moving on to ZRX, we did see, so this is a classic example. I've not done any analysis on ZRX today, but looking at that, it's beautiful because what we can see just here is we can see the triangle just here break out. Absolutely beautiful opportunity to short just here, guys. It's again very similar situation as to when we do see an ascending or descending channel on the breakout, and some traders do trade, and I must admit sometimes myself as well, I will trade on the breakout of a channel or of a breakout of a triangle as a whole. Now this is more of a triangle signal, as we can see with the big swings, but you could call it a channel also. Some analyzers will have done so, but a simple way in which we could have just jumped into this short position just here was putting the stop loss just here within this channel just here in case we did break back in, and then we could have had a short position. My short would have been take profit just here on this key level, just here like this, so we would be currently coming towards to test this level and perhaps cash into the first short position, which according to this data would have been a 9, about around an 8 or 9%. Yeah, so an 8 or 9% mark gain on the short position, and again the longer term target of that 19% as a whole, which I do think for ZRX with such a parabolic move to the upside, should I say, that we may see this broken and move down to the, again, test this level just here. If we do find some intermediate support just here, then I do think we could end up seeing ZRX move to the upside, because we did see over time that ZRX was actually affected one of the most with regards to its upside. Well, it's upside movement in the past. Because I know I am looking at the Binance Tether version just here, so I've not got enough prior historic data, but we was up very, very high at one point with Tether, of which we did crumble, guys. So this is where we are. We're looking to coming down and test here, but I think there's probably a bit late now, a bit more FOMO to jump into this short opportunity, but definitely within this candle just here. So this daily candle, so just yesterday would have been a good opportunity. I know I didn't mention it, but just around here would have been a brilliant opportunity, and we would be running into some profit now, of which you could maybe bring your stop loss into break even just there to run on a risk-free trade, guys. So that's really how we do it and create there is not as much functionality in the crypto market with regards to stop losses, etc., trailing stop losses. There is, but it's on various different exchanges, and it may not be on your exchange. So as we do evolve, I'm sure that we'll put more functionality into that. You know, at the start, I really couldn't get to grips with the fact that you couldn't set, you know, on Binance a stop loss and a take profit at the same time. You had to set your stop loss, and then as you moved into profit, you would then delete your stop loss and put your take profit in, which in such a volatile market, it seems mad, because we could just boom at any point and then you would be in a sticky situation. But I don't write the rules, guys. So here we are. So good opportunity there with regards to ZRX. If you caught that, well done, good stuff. Vodafone seen. So say this is brilliant. Actually, I haven't checked this all day. So mentioned yesterday, we have just here an ascending triangle. Now, what have we seen? Ascending triangle is a bullish signal, guys. So, surprised I didn't get this actually, but I wasn't trading it, so I didn't have my mind on it. But again, perfect example. I think I mentioned it just yesterday actually. We would now be able to look at, I mean, I think with the whole economic situation, there is absolutely room for it to get back in within this this ascending wedge. But I would say it's a brilliant opportunity, guys, to look at what upside we've got. I think we definitely, I tell you what, that is gorgeous, because I mentioned this yesterday actually. So we can see here, as we broke out of this ascending triangle, we then came up and we tested this line of resistance here, of which was covered yesterday in the breakdown that I gave. And then if we are going to surpass this just here, as again mentioned, we will be coming up to test this level just here. So guys, good opportunity if you are trading the stock market, I would say, to run quite a decent trade there really. For, again, not financial advice, but we have broken out of this ascending triangle, so it's a good bullish signal as a whole. So enter here, take profit 1 here, take profit 2 here. You would be running an 8% trade to the upside, which is absolutely beautiful, guys. So again, I'm not going to be taking that trade myself, but looking at that, it looks quite a nice setup. We could break back down in here, in which case, if you do have your stop loss in, then there's nothing to worry about. Again, mentioned on my discipline and decision making podcast that I brought out just today on YouTube. So if anybody wants to have a bit of time to look at their own discipline and their own trading strategies, risk management and decision making, then I suggest you do watch that podcast to find out how I do it and how I've learned over the years to, you know, decision make as such, according to what I have seen in the trading market. But again, we are looking here like we are still within this descending wedge, which descending wedge looks to me like a bullish signal. So if we do break out of here, we've got that 1, 2, third touch, 1, 2, third touch. I think we're going to break out here now. I'm going to say quite a bold call for this. Again, if we've not had it fully confirmed, but quite a bold call just here. I think we are going to intermediate, going to certainly for the short-term breakout of this, as this is a bullish signal, and then move to the upside. You've got probably a 20% max move there. If you lose using prior historic data of the levels of resistance, you could probably go in for a 16%. Looking at other prior historical data, you could look just here. Again, probably around, I would say that's about 10%. But 9%. You could have your first take profit and then your second take profit just here. I would have it just before this level of resistance just here, guys. So overall, the formations within the stock market are looking pretty nice, really. But I think as we break out of these and confirm some of these triangles and ascending wedges, etc., we are going to see some upside momentum. But I think ultimately, with what's going on, the lack of money in circulation versus the debt, we are going to see a bigger crash than what we have seen already with regards to the market and moving into possible depression, guys. So I'm going to wrap that one up, this one up here, should I say. So I will catch everyone tomorrow, and peace.